In a world ruled by pheromones, dominance, and instinct, love can be both a blessing and a curse. Two men, Sheng Shaoyou and Gao Tu, walked different paths, but shared the same fate: to love, to be broken, and to carry scars that would never fade. Their stories are not of fairy tales. They are stories of betrayal, of pain, and of hearts that longed for a love they could never keep. Sheng Shaoyou was everything an alpha should be: proud, commanding, untouchable. He carried himself with strength and never once bowed to weakness. But in the shadows of one night, that pride was ripped away. An assault left him humiliated and torn. For an alpha, who should have been in control, to be violated in the dark, it was a wound deeper than any blade. He never saw the face of the man who hurt him, but his body remembered. The scent that clung to him, the trembling that would not stop, the shame that gnawed at his bones. And what Xiaoyu didn't know was that the man responsible was Hua Yong. When Xiaoyu crossed paths with Hua Yong later, his mind knew nothing, but his body reacted. Every time Hua Yong drew near, his chest tightened. Heat flushed through him. His alpha instinct screamed that something was wrong, but he couldn't understand why. The proud alpha, who once looked everyone in the eye, now avoided contact. He became restless, unfocused, haunted by the phantom memory of that night. His body betrayed him with nausea, with unease, with a terror that no one else could see. And yet Hua Yong stood before him, calm and collected, as if nothing had ever happened. Was it guilt in his eyes? Or possession? No one could tell. But for Sheng Shaoyou, his alpha pride was gone, and every breath near Hua Yong was another step deeper into silent torment. Far from Xiaoyu's silent suffering, another tragedy unfolded. Gao Tu, an omega whose heart was tender, but whose body was weak. He had loved Shen Wenlang for so long, dreamed of a future, and believed naively that love could heal. But Wenlang never truly loved omegas. He despised their pheromones, looked down on their nature, and in Gao Tu's love, he saw nothing but weakness. And yet fate played its cruelest trick. Against all odds, against the doctor's warnings, Gao Tu found himself pregnant. It should have been impossible. His pheromone disorder meant he could never conceive. But the trembling lines on a test proved otherwise. Gao Tu clutched the results in a restroom, vomiting between sobs, his lips pale as snow. When the doctor confirmed it, the words felt like knives. Terminate it. Gao Tu, you cannot survive this pregnancy. But Gao Tu shook his head, voice breaking. I want this child. The doctor slammed the table, furious. That alpha is a scumbag. You'll die without his pheromone comfort. Why carry his child? But Gao Tu lowered his head, whispering, It's my fault. I don't want him, I just want the child. Even as his body wasted away, even as he grew weaker by the day, he clung to that fragile life. With all his courage, he finally approached Shen Wenlang. Maybe, just maybe, he thought there was kindness left in the man he loved. But Shen Wenlang's answer was cold, sharp, final. Abort it. No hesitation, no regret, just rejection. In that moment, Gao Tu's world shattered. He realized Wenlang didn't want him, didn't want their child, didn't want any bond that tied them together. And so Gao Tu disappeared, carrying his child in silence, choosing pain and exile over begging again. Time passed. Gao Tu raised his child quietly, far from Shen Wenlang's shadow, until one day, fate brought them face to face again. Gao Tu? The sound of his name froze him. Turning slowly, pale and trembling, he looked into the eyes of the man he once loved. Instinctively, Gao Tu stepped back. That single movement, small, fragile, cut Wenlang deeper than any words. Why are you hiding from me? He asked hoarsely, but Gao Tu said nothing. For the first time, Wenlang truly saw him. And when he saw the child, a child who looked exactly like him, the truth struck harder than any blow. If the omega was Gao Tu, he could never truly hate him. If the child was Gao Tu's, he could never turn away. But it was too late. Far too late. Sheng Shaoyou, the alpha who lost his pride. Gao Tu, the omega who lost his love. Different fates, but the same truth. They were broken by the very men who should have protected them. Xiaoyu lives trapped in fear and confusion, his alpha dignity crushed by Hua Yong's betrayal. Gao Tu lives in silence, raising the child Shen Wenlang never wanted, but loving it with every piece of his fragile heart. Both scarred, both abandoned, both carrying wounds that time cannot heal. Weeks passed, and Sheng Shaoyou tried to bury his confusion and pain. The shame, the fear, the trembling, he carried it all silently, wondering if his pride as an alpha would ever return. Then, one evening, Hua Yong came to him, eyes heavy with remorse, voice trembling as he spoke. "I can't keep this from you any longer. It was me. I was the one that night." Time seemed to stop for Xiaoyu. All the tension, all the fear, all the anger, swirled into a storm inside him. For an alpha who had always been strong, the vulnerability of hearing the truth was almost unbearable. Yet in Hua Yong's eyes, he saw regret, and something more. A sincerity that made Xiaoyu's heart ache in ways he hadn't expected. He felt the sharp pang of betrayal, but also the stirrings of understanding. Hua Yong hadn't just taken from him. He had also carried his own burden of guilt. After a long silence, Xiaoyu spoke softly. "I forgive you." It was not easy. Forgiveness did not erase the memory, did not erase the trauma, but it allowed a door to open, a fragile bridge between pain and trust, between what was lost and what might still be salvaged. Meanwhile, Gao Tu continued to bear his own burdens. He walked through life carrying a child that shouldn't have existed, a reminder of a love that never came. He remembers the cold rejection, the finality, the way the world seemed to turn against him. Yet, even in despair, he found strength in the small warmth of his child, the innocent face that belonged only to him, and the tiny life that gave him reason to survive. 2 men, 2 lives, 2 struggles. One alpha learning that even the strongest heart can be broken, and that forgiveness can be a fragile form of healing. One omega learning that love can be cruel, but that resilience can be born from despair. Both carry scars that time will never fully erase. Both live in a world where love and pain are forever intertwined. Sometimes love doesn't heal. Sometimes it shatters, leaving scars that never fade. Sheng Shaoyou learned that even the strongest alpha can be broken. That trust can be betrayed, and yet forgiveness can be a fragile bridge back to hope. Gao Tu learned that love can be cruel, that rejection can pierce the heart, but even in despair, resilience and the small warmth of a child can give life meaning again. Both men walk through their pain, carrying memories, regrets, and the weight of the past. And yet, in their stories, we see a truth that resonates. Love leaves scars, but those scars are proof that we survived. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who understands heartbreak, and subscribe for more tragic tales that linger long after the screen goes dark. Because love may fade, but stories like these remain forever.